काय करायचं? थांबायचं 2 मिनटं की करू स्टार्ट? 48 झालेत. Should we wait for joining of other students or should I start? It is 3:10 now. I think I should start. Let the latecomers come and join. Yes, yes, let the latecomers join late. I will start because after 4 p.m. there is madam's lecture. I will start. Okay, then you can see my screen, everyone. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, okay, I will start now. So, today we will go to the next topic from the same section. We have seen impotency and sterility, different causes of impotency and sterility in males, causes of impotency and sterility in females. So, we have enlisted all those causes. Now we will go to the next small topic. It is a small topic but commonly asked as a 5 mark short note. Very commonly it is asked as a 5 mark short note. Artificial insemination. Artificial insemination. So what is, I just tell you the definition. What is the meaning? What do you mean by this procedure, artificial insemination? So it is deposition of semen in vagina or cervical canal or into the uterus by instrument to bring about the pregnancy which is not attainable by sexual intercourse. So normally, by performing the sexual intercourse, what happens? The semen gets deposited. The semen enters the female genital tract, that is into the vagina, into the cervix, into the uterus, and ultimately sperm passes through fallopian tubes into the ampulla of uter where the fertilization occurs. But because of any cause that we'll see further, because of some abnormality or some other causes, if husband and wife, if they are not able to perform the sexual intercourse, means they may be impotent, any one of them may be impotent but not sterile. Any one of them may be impotent but not sterile. We collect the semen. We collect the semen from husband. Now there are two types: semen from husband and semen from some other person, that we will see further. So I will just tell you the meaning of the word artificial insemination. If if the pregnancy is not attainable by sexual intercourse, if the wife and husband cannot perform the sexual intercourse because of some problem, some disease or some abnormality, what we do, we collect the semen and insert it artificially into the female genital tract. That is called as artificial insemination. Got very simple. So, deposition of semen into the female genital tract by instrument for pregnancy which is not attainable by natural sexual intercourse. Now, there are some legal difficulty, there can some problems later on which they may have to suffer later on. So we'll see the two types of artificial insemination: AIH, that is artificial insemination homologous, when just I told you how the semen has been collected from husband. If wife and husband, if they are not able to perform the sexual intercourse, the semen is collected from the husband, means he has to be fertile. The husband is not sterile but he is impotent. Her husband is not sterile but he is suffering from impotency because of any of the causes that we have seen here. Causes of impotency and sterility in male. So these are the causes. So because of some disease or because of any of the causes we have studied in the last lecture, if husband is fertile but not potent. So if the husband is fertile but he is impotent, the semen is collected from the husband and it is introduced into the female genital tract of his wife. That is called as artificial insemination homologous, AIH. It is asked as a 2 mark question, or AID is also asked as a 2 mark question. Just remember, the if artificial insemination is not asked as a 5 mark short note, it can be asked as a 2 mark question like this. What is, or simply what is artificial insemination, or what is AIH, or what is AID. Now what is artificial insemination donor or artificial insemination heterologous? The seminal fluid is collected from donor and not from the husband. So Husband might be important with uh, infertility. The husband is suffering from infertility, that's why he cannot produce the children, so semen is collected or seminal fluid is collected from some other person than husband, and it is introduced into the female genital tract of the wife. These are the two types got: AIH, artificial insemination homologous, and AID, artificial insemination donor, or heterologous. What we do here, I will tell you the process. So deposition of 1 ml of semen, the deposition of 1 ml of semen is done just above the internal os by a sterile syringe at 14th day after menses. Why 14th day? Because what happens on 14th day? Anyone, what happens at 14th day after menses? Yes, ovulation takes place. Ovulation takes place. So ovum will be released from ovary, and at the same time, or maybe within those 2 to 3 days, if the semen is introduced through vagina, what will happen? They will unite, that ovum from ovary and the sperms from the artificially inseminated semen. They will unite with each other in the ampulla of fallopian tube, and the fertilization will occur, and the pregnancy will be the result. So it is to be deposited at 14 day after menses, that is after the ovulation. The semen is collected by masturbation after 1 week's abstinence and used within 2 hours. After the collection, it is to be used fresh within 2 hours. Now, what are the conditions for that? Husband is important. I have already told you. Husband is important but fertile. Means his sperm count, secretion of that seminal fluid and all, everything is fine, but not able to perform the sexual intercourse. We have seen the causes. So if the husband is fertile but impotent, we will go for artificial insemination homologous. And husband is sterile. Sterile means he might not have adequate sperm count, maybe because of some disease or some abnormality, or maybe the person might have undergone some surgery or some serious disease condition because of which the husband has become sterile, or there is RH incompatibility between husband and wife. So what we do here? Can you hear me? I had lost the net for some time. Can you hear me? Can you hear? I can't see anything on my screen. I don't know what has happened. I lost the screen. Let, I will share the screen. I had lost the network for some time. Can you see my screen? I can't see anything. Now can you see my screen? Everyone, can you hear me properly? Yes, okay, okay. Yes, I had lost the network for some time. Okay, it's fine now. I think it's fine. So husband is sterile, or there is some RH incompatibility between husband and wife, maybe because of the RH positive, negative blood grouping and all. And if they undergo sexual intercourse, and if she undergoes pregnancy, it can cause uh, danger to the life of baby, or even danger to the life of the mother. That's why, because of that RH incompatibility, we advise artificial insemination donor. So if husband is sterile, or there is some RH incompatibility, we collect the semen from some other person, and the condition is called as artificial insemination donor or heterologous. Now we'll see what precaution is to be taken. Now there are, I just we have used the term legal difficulty. There can be some legal difficulties related with this particular issue, that is AID. So we'll see what precautions are to be taken. So we'll see in short what care should be taken for undergoing this procedure, artificial insemination. So first, there has to be knowledge and written consent of both husband and wife. If they have taken the decision of, or if they have decided to go for artificial insemination, written consent should be taken from both of them. Written consent should be taken. Then identity of both and donor and recipient must not be revealed. Means if the husband and wife, after their consent, they have decided to go for AID, artificial insemination donor, the identity should not be revealed. Means the woman who is receiving the semen from some other person than husband, if the wife is receiving the semen from some other person, she should not know from whom this semen has been collected, ये किसका है. And जो आदमी डोनेट कर रहा है, जिसका सीमेन हम यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट पर्सन ऑल्सो शुड नॉट नो कि उसका सीमेन किसे दिया जा रहा है. सो आइडेंटिटी ऑफ बोथ donor and recipient should not be revealed to each other. Now, what are the conditions regarding donor? It's a bit smaller. Can you see? Can you read properly? Can you read properly? Because it's a bit smaller. Okay. Donor. What are the conditions regarding donor? The donor has to be below 40 years of age. He has to be young. So donor has to be, just say semen collect karna hai. The donor has to be below 40 years of age. He should not be related to any of these two, that is husband and wife. उनके किसी भी रिलेशन में नहीं होना चाहिए, मतलब दूर से भी उनका कोई रिश्ता नहीं होना चाहिए. He should not be in relation with either husband or wife. He should have his own children. He should have his own children. वो जो आदमी सीमेंट डोनेट कर रहा है, जिसका सीमेंट हम ले रहे हैं, उसके खुद के बच्चे भी होने चाहिए. एंड ही हैज़ टू बी थोड़ा बहुत हस्बैंड के जैसा दिखने होना चाहिए. सो ही हैज़ टू बी क्लोजली रिजेंबलिंग विद द हस्बैंड. He has to be robust mentally and physically. सोनिया, सोनिया, why you are making so much noise? कौन सी बगे, कौन से गार्डन में जाना है तुम्हें? सोनिया. Okay. So, donor has to be below 40 years of age, should not be related with both wife and husband, should have his own children, and he should be closely resembling to the husband. And he should be robust mental and physically, means he should not have any disease. He should not have any disease. He should be mentally as well as physically nicely built, means healthy. uh, and there should not be any history of familial disease like tuberculosis. उसे कोई tuberculosis नहीं होना चाहिए. Diabetes, epilepsy, endocrinal disorders, psychiatric conditions, AIDS, syphilis, so his HIV test, then VDRL test, वो सब लेने पड़ेंगे. So that person should not have any sexually transmissible disease or diseases like tuberculosis, diabetes, epilepsy. ऐसी कोई बीमारी नहीं होनी चाहिए. He has to be strong and healthy mentally as well as physically. And the wife of the donor should be agree. Wife of the donor should be agree for this thing. And uh, one nurse has to be present. One nurse has to be present while performing the procedure of insemination. Then now once that insemination has been done and the child has been produced, that woman has undergone pregnancy and she has delivered the baby, who will be the father of that baby? Who will be the father of that baby legally? Yes, anyone? Who will be the father of that baby legally? Can't you hear me? Can you hear me? Then you got the semen has been collected from some other person, that is donor, and the lady has undergone pregnancy. Who will be the father of that baby? Yes, her husband will be father of the child. Therefore, child is a legitimate child. Child is a legitimate child and it can inherit the parents' property. मतलब वो ही सच्चा वारिस रहेगा. वारिस, that is inherit the property. So husband is accepted as father legally. Legally, the husband will be the father of child and therefore child is a legitimate. Legitimate मतलब जायज. जायज. Legitimate means जायज. uh, and therefore it can inherit the property of parents. Then recipient is not guilty of adultery. Recipient मतलब वो wife. सीमेन दूसरे किसी आदमी का इंसर्ट किया है तो इसकी वजह से उसके ऊपर कोई ब्लेम नहीं किया जा सकता. शी कैन नॉट बी गिल्टी ऑफ अडल्टरी बिकॉज देर इज नो फिजिकल कॉन्टैक्ट. इट हैज बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. सीमेन हैज बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड विद द हेल्प ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. That woman and that donor have not physically come in contact with each other. They even have not seen each other. They don't know each other. That's why recipient as well as donor cannot be guilty of adultery. They cannot be guilty of adultery. म्हणजे त्यांचे कुठल्याही प्रकारचे संबंध न आल्यामुळे they cannot be blamed for that what we call it as illegal relationship and all, because everything has been done with the help of instruments. Semen has been collected by masturbation. It has been collected in the syringe and has been introduced into the vagina. That's why there is no any physical contact. So both of them cannot be guilty of adultery. And it has been performed with the written consent. Therefore there it cannot be used as a ground for divorce. मतलब समझो ये आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन के बाद उस वाइफ को बच्चा हुआ और उसके बाद उन दोनों के पति और उसके बीच दोनों के बीच पति पत्नी के बीच अगर झगड़ा होता है बाद में किसी वजह से, तो आदमी बोल सकता है ना ये मेरा बच्चा नहीं है. ये मेरा बच्चा, वो कोर्ट में बोलेगा ये मेरा बच्चा नहीं है, मुझे इससे डिवोर्स चाहिए. So this cannot be the ground for divorce because everything has been done with consent. We have taken the written consent from both wife and husband. So it will not create any legal issue as such. So this is a short topic, that is artificial insemination. Two types: seminal fluid collected from husband, that is artificial insemination homologous, and seminal fluid collected from some other person, that is donor, that is artificial insemination heterologous. Just you will have to mention all these things and these precautions and legal points. You will get good marks because it is just mathematics, like you just answer point wise, you will get good marks. And also there can be a few 2-mark question can also be there. Got a very small and simple topic. Now I go to one again very small topic. Small topic means this topic is hardly of 2 lines. These are the only 2 lines. Test tube baby. You might have heard, read so many times about test tube baby. If the ovum, if the ovum fails to reach the uterus, what do? We remove the mature uterus, mature ovum. The mature ovum is to be taken out and it is fertilized with the husband's sperm in laboratory. What we have done in artificial insemination? Ovum is released from the ovary, the semen is introduced through vagina into the uterus, and they will unite in the fallopian tube, that is naturally in the that woman's female genital tract only. But what we are doing here, the ovum is to be taken out, the ovum is to be taken out from the woman, and sperm is to be collected from the male, maybe husband or something, and both of them are made to unite, or both of them are made to fertilize with each other in laboratory. म्हणजे लक्षात आलं की तुमच्या इथे काय करतोय आपण, वाइफ कडून, वाइफ के ओवरी में से तुम्हें ओहम निकालना है, द मैच्योर ओहम मे बी एट द 14 day after menstruation and all, you know that. So at the time of ovulation or after ovulation, that ovum is to be collected from wife and the sperm is to be collected from husband. Both of them are collected, taking care of the temperature and all. There are so many technical issues are there. So both of them are made to fertilize in the laboratory, that is outside the body of the female. Both of them are made to fertilize with each other in laboratory. Then उससे जो जाइगोट बनने वाला है, because of the fertilization between ओवम एंड स्पर्म आउटसाइड द बॉडी, वो जो जाइगोट बनने वाला है, दैट जाइगोट इज इम्प्लांटेड इन द यूट्राइन कैविटी. बाद में वो मदर के यूट्रस में उसे इम्प्लांट करना है. दैट वी कॉल इट अ टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी. आस्क एज अ 2 मार्क क्वेश्चन. गॉट सिंपल मीनिंग. दोनों को बॉडी के बाहर, व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज इन विट्रो फर्टिलाइजेशन, IVF. You might have heard this term. I think some of the students had attended, maybe I think 3 months back. There was a seminar or that lecture on the Zoom by, what is the name of that doctor? Dr. Lunkad from Pune. Some students from your class had attended that lecture on IVF, in vitro fertilization, what we call it as test tube baby. Some students had attended that lecture with me also. So in that they had told all the procedure, indications, contraindications, its benefits, its bad effects and all, everything was explained, and also how the procedure is done, what are the technical things in that, how to maintain the temperature and all those things were explained in that 2-hour lecture. I think some students had attended, seniors particularly, some students from senior class had attended that lecture maybe 2 to 3 months back. It was on Zoom only. So in that the whole process of test tube baby was explained. So test tube baby is taking out the mature ovum and sperm. It is to be fertilized in the laboratory, and then the resultant zygote is implanted into the uterus of that woman, and the pregnancy will continue. That is test tube baby, or also called as in vitro, that is outside the body, in vitro fertilization, that is IVF. Another term, this term you might have heard so many times, surrogate motherhood. Surrogate motherhood, the test tube baby with adaptation. Simple meaning, test tube baby मतलब sperm और ओवम को बॉडी के बाहर ही फर्टिलाइज करना है इन द लेबोरेटरी, एंड दिस इन विट्रो फर्टिलाइज्ड ओवम, बॉडी के बाहर जो उनका फर्टिलाइजेशन हमने कराया है, उसकी वजह से जो फर्टिलाइज्ड ओवम या जाइगोट तैयार हुआ है, दैट इज टू बी इम्प्लांटेड इनटू, नॉट इनटू द that woman's but in some other woman's uterus. तो जिसमें what we call it as uterus भाड़े पे लेना, hiring the uterus. So in vitro fertilized ovum is implanted in hired uterus of another woman, or another woman's ovum is fertilized with the sperm of the husband, and the pregnancy is continued. So got what is surrogate mother. पहले वाले में क्या देखा हमने, in vitro fertilization और test tube baby में the ovum from wife, sperm from husband, they are taken out, fertilized in the laboratory, and the resultant zygote is implanted into the uterus of no, I am asking about this test tube baby. The sperm has been taken from husband, the ovum has been taken from wife, they have been fertilized outside the body, that is in the laboratory, and resultant zygote or resultant fertilized ovum is implanted in uterus of wife. Yes, and what we are doing here, wife से ovum लेना है, wife से ovum लेना है, husband से या donor से हस्बैंड से स्पर्म लेना है, उनका लेबोरेटरी में फर्टिलाइजेशन कराना है, रिजल्टेंट जाइगोट इज इम्प्लांटेड इन, हाँ, सम अनदर लेडी। तो डिलीवरी होने के बाद तो वो इनका बच्चा दूसरी कोई औरत उसके पेट में पालेगी, कॉल इट सो शी विल अंडरगो दैट होल प्रेगनेंसी डिलीवरी एंड ऑल। और बच्चा पैदा होने के बाद वो लेडी क्या करेगी, उनके ओरिजिनल मम्मी पापा को, मतलब जिनसे हमने स्पर्म और ओवम फर्टिलाइज स्पर्म और ओवम लेके फर्टिलाइज किया था, उनको उनका बच्चा दे देगी वो। सो हर यूटरस विल बी हायर्ड, भाड़े पे लेंगे उसका, जो भी उनका डील होगा उतना पैसा उसे देके, जस्ट वी विल हायर हर यूटरस, that couple will hire the uterus some uterus of some other woman। उसके यूटरस में ये इनका बच्चा बढ़ेगा, डिलीवरी के बाद वो उनके बायोलॉजिकल फादर और मदर को दे देगी। सो रिजल्टेंट इन्फेंट इज पास टू इट्स बायोलॉजिकल फादर एंड his wife, that is to those husband and wife. Got the difference? Test tube baby and surrogate motherhood. What is surrogate motherhood? Hiring the uterus, दूसरी किसी के यूट्रस में उनका जो भी बच्चा बढ़ने वाला है वो फर्टिलाइजेशन की वजह से वो दूसरी औरत के यूट्रस में डालना है। गॉट द डिफरेंस? एवरीवन अंडरस्टूड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी एंड सरोगेट मदरहुड? Okay, so this is about artificial insemination, asked as a 2 mark question, as well as 5 mark short note. Test tube baby asked as a 2 mark question, and surrogate motherhood is asked as a 2 mark question, as well as very commonly it is asked as a question in oral। It is also asked as a question in oral as well as for the spotting। Practical में spotting में भी पूछा जाता है ये। Okay, these are 3 small topics। Legitimacy, I had used this term legitimate। Let me see where we had used this term legitimate, the child is legitimate। Can you see? Ha, see, husband is accepted in artificial insemination, husband is accepted as father of the child and therefore the child is legitimate। Now I will tell you what is this legitimate। So legitimacy is a separate short note। Legitimacy is asked as a separate short note that we will see। So legitimacy is status of a person in lawful wedlock। Status of a person in lawful wedlock। So law assumes every child to be legitimate। म्हणजे कसं म्हणता येईल बरं? Anyone can tell me the, if you have understood the meaning of legitimacy, anyone can tell me what it is called in Marathi? Legitimacy काय म्हणता येईल बरं मराठीमध्ये त्याला, मला आठवेना आता एक्झॅक्ट वर्ड त्याच्यासाठी। एनीवन? अर्थ कळला का तुम्हाला? लेजिटिमेसी स्टॅटस ऑफ अ पर्सन इन लॉ। ओके, आय विल रीड द नेक्स्ट लाइन। लॉ अज्युम्स एव्हरी चाइल्ड टू बी लेजिटिमेट इफ बॉर्न ड्यूरिंग द कंटिन्युएशन ऑफ अ व्हॅलिड मॅरेज और इवन आफ्टर हजबंड डेथ इफ चाइल्ड इज बॉर्न विदिन लिमिट्स दॅट इज कन्सिस्टंट विथ द नॉर्मल जस्ट, म्हणजे लग्नानंतर पती पत्नीला लग्नानंतर झालेलं मूल, अर्थात तो पिरियड जो आहे त्यांचं लग्न झाल्यापासून 9 महिने आणि वरचे जे काही दिवस असतील तेवढ्या पिरियडमध्ये जर मूल झालं असेल, किंवा समजा त्या नवऱ्याचा मृत्यू झाला, नवऱ्याचा मृत्यू झाला तरी पण त्याच्या मृत्यूपासून म्हणजे 9 महिन्यापेक्षा जास्त पिरियड नंतर मूल नाही झालं पाहिजे। तर मूल जे काय होईल ते तिच्या नवऱ्याच्या मृत्यूनंतर किंवा त्यांच्या सेपरेशन नंतर, मग डिव्होर्स असेल काही असेल, ते दोघं सेपरेट झाल्यापासून किंवा नवऱ्याचा मृत्यू झाल्यापासून इफ द चाइल्ड इज बॉर्न विदिन लिमिट्स विच आर कन्सिस्टंट विथ द नॉर्मल जेस्टेशन, त्या पिरियडमध्ये जर मूल झालेलं असेल दॅट विल बी कन्सिडर्ड ॲज बेबी ऑफ दोज टू। आणि त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त पिरियड नंतर झालं तर इट कॅन बी बिकॉज ऑफ सम अदर कॉन्टॅक्ट ऑफ द वुमन। लेजिटिमसी काय म्हणता येईल त्याला मराठीमध्ये? आपण म्हणतो ना कायदेशीर, जायज इज ओके, जायज मला माहिती आहे, दॅट्स व्हाय आय वॉज आस्किंग फॉर सम मराठी वर्ड। मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणता येईल मला आठवे ना आता एक्झॅक्ट वर्ड काय म्हणतात। तुम्हाला कळलं ना, म्हणजे अर्थ कळला ना व्हॉट इज लेजिटिमसी? इट इज अ स्टॅटस ऑफ अ पर्सन इन लॉफुल वेडलॉक। लग्नानंतर त्या ठराविक पिरियड मध्येच, त्या पिरियड नंतर जर मूल झालं किंवा इवन आफ्टर द सेपरेशन ऑफ वाईफ अँड हजबंड, if the child is born within the limits consistent with the normal gestation, it is called as a legitimate child। So, illegitimate child is if the baby is born out of lawful wedlock, that is not within the competent time after dissolution of marriage or death of the husband, and born within lawful wedlock when the procreation by husband is not possible. That is, the husband is suffering either from sterility, impotency, or is having some illness because of which he cannot become father. अशा काही त्याच्या health issue असतील, if that husband is suffering from sterility or impotency, and if the baby has born in the lawful wedlock but husband is not able to procreate. अशा कंडिशनमध्ये पण जर एखादं त्याच्या बायकोची डिलिव्हरी झाली, इट विल बी कन्सिडर्ड ॲज इललेजिटिमेट चाइल्ड. अर्थ कळला का तुम्हाला? थोडीशी शब्दप्रयोग आणि ही थोडीशी वाक्यरचना थोडीशी अवघड आहे, बट आय एम ट्राईंग टू मेक इट इझियर. कळते का? और आय विल एक्सप्लेन इट अगेन. कन्सेप्ट कळला का तुम्हाला? व्हॉट इज लेजिटिमसी? Let me know, otherwise I will repeat again with some easier manner. कळलं का? Or should I repeat? Okay, I will try to make. Should I? एक कोणीतरी आहे ना नॉन मराठी, someone who doesn't know Marathi at all. Let me talk with her first. कौन है वो? नाम याद नहीं मुझे. Who doesn't know Marathi at all? Who is that? Anyone other than Soumya? Or other than Soumya? कोई तो है who doesn't know Marathi at all. Let me know. Juhi, do you know Marathi? Juhi, so you can understand if I talk in Marathi. Okay, only Soumya is there. Okay, I will try to I will try to explain it in Hindi. Let everyone understand. I will try to explain in Hindi. Okay. So शादी हुई है समझो जैन में. जैन में दोनों की शादी हुई है और उनकी पहली डिलीवरी हो जाती है समझो जुलाई अगस्त में. सो इज दैट चाइल्ड लेजिटिमेट? सौम्या. सौम्या, शादी हुई जैन में, और वाइफ की डिलीवरी हो गई जुलाई में और से जून में. सो इज दैट चाइल्ड लेजिटिमेट? लेट मी नो वेदर यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड लेजिटिमेसी. शादी हुई जैन में और बीवी की डिलीवरी हो गई. नो मीन्स यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड लेजिटिमेसी. आता कळलं का? बाकीचे कोण आहेत हु वॉन्टेड मी टू रिपीट व्हॉट इज लेजिटिमेसी? नाही, अजूनही नाही. परत अजून एक उदाहरण देऊ. ओके, आई विल गिव अनदर एग्जाम्पल. जैन में शादी हुई, जैन में डिवोर्स हुआ. जैन में डिवोर्स हुआ और समझो बच्चे की डिलीवरी हुई नवंबर में. सो इज इट लेजिटिमेट चाइल्ड? डिलीवरी हुई दिसंबर, नवंबर या दिसंबर में. डिवोर्स या पति की मौत, डिवोर्स या पति की मौत समझो जैन में हुई है, जैन में, एंड शी अंडरगोज डिलीवरी इन नवंबर. सो इज इट अ लेजिटिमेट चाइल्ड? Why? Because they have got separated, maybe because of death or by divorce or by some means. If they have been separated in Jan, और उनकी उसकी डिलीवरी अगर समझो मई जून में होती है, तो you can consider that they had contact before their separation. But if that period is more than the period of normal gestation that I have mentioned in the first line, in the first point, अभी समझा what is legitimacy? नाजायज बच्चा, what it is called in English? Now you tell me what it is called in English. Illegitimate child, what it is called in English? You are not able to tell in Marathi. I thought you might use the correct word in English. Anyone? You can tell me it in English. Anyone? What that illegitimate child, नाजायज बच्चा, उसे इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं? Anyone? hey, don't be shy. अगर किसी को मालूम भी है तो don't be shy because we are going to be doctors. You can use those terms, no problem with it. It is called as bastard child, which is asked as a two-mark question. Hmm? Bastard child is asked as a two-mark question, remember. Hmm? So illegitimate child, you can call it as bastard child, which has born out of lawful wedlock, means not within the competent time after dissolution of marriage or after death of the husband. And also another case, if the husband is suffering from sterility, impotency or illness, or पति को मालूम है, means it has been with the medical documentation, with the medical certificate, it has been proved that husband cannot become father. Should I continue? Should I continue? Nearly 43 students have joined. Should I continue? Okay, should I continue? Okay, nearly 44 students have joined. I will continue. You can see my screen. Hmm. If the husband is suffering from some disease like sterility, impotency, or some illness because of which he cannot produce the children, and if his wife undergoes pregnancy and delivers the baby, that means it will be a illegitimate child. Again, the example of illegitimate child. Now, there are some legal issues. What is the medico-legal aspect? Okay. What are the medico-legal aspect of why to study legitimacy? Why to study legitimacy? So, what is the medico-legal aspect of legitimacy? First is nullity of marriage and divorce. Nullity of marriage and divorce. So, if uh, there is impotency, insanity, or some venereal disease, and if the wife is pregnant at the time of marriage by some other person, that person can claim for divorce or nullity of the marriage. And divorce, same thing, intrauterine age of the child is more than period of access between parents. What I gave you the example, शादी जनवरी में हुई है और उसकी डिलीवरी समझो जून जुलाई में हो रही है, दैट मीन्स शी हैड सम फिजिकल कॉन्टैक्ट और शी हैड गॉन सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स बिफोर द मैरिज विद सम अदर पर्सन, so that husband can claim for divorce. So intrauterine age of the child is more than period of access between the parents. उनके साथ आने के पहले, उनके साथ आने के पीरियड से ज़्यादा पीरियड अगर उसकी प्रेगनेंसी का है, that can be the ground for divorce. And same thing about that nullity of marriage, if the husband is suffering from impotency, insanity, or venereal disease, or if the lady is pregnant at the time of marriage by some other person, it can be a cause for nullity of marriage. This next important thing is inheritance, that is वारस, इस्टेटीचा वारसदार, तो कौन है इस्टेट जायदाद का वारिस, that is inheritance. Only legitimate child can inherit the property of his parents. Only a legitimate child can inherit the property of the parents and not the illegitimate child. So you will have to prove in the court that that child is legitimate if any legal issue arises. So this is medical legal aspect, nullity of marriage, divorce, and inheritance of property. Okay, these are the few short topics: legitimacy, surrogate motherhood, in vitro fertilization, that is test tube baby, and artificial insemination, homologous and heterologous. These are the four small topics we have seen today. Okay, then I think we should stop here. Okay, then should we stop here? बस हो गया? अरे हो नाही काहीतरी बोला, थांबायचं का? Okay, today we'll stop here. We have seen four small topics today. Again I tell you, तुम्ही ऐकता की नाही मला माहीत नाही, तरी पण सांगणं माझं काम आहे. वाचा, माझ्या नोट्समधून परत एकदा वाचा. इफ यू रीड वन मोर टाइम, बिकॉज देर आर सम काही काही पर्टिक्युलरली दॅट लेजिटिमसीमध्ये कई कई वाक्य रचना, कुछ सेंटेंसेस है वो थोड़े से मुश्किल है समझने में. यू जस्ट रीड एट, इफ द कंसेप्ट इज क्लियर यू कैन राइट इट इन योर ओन वर्ड्स. तो लेजिटिमेसी का मतलब तुम्हें समझ में आया, कंसेप्ट क्लियर हुआ, तो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वैसे वर्ड टू वर्ड वैसे ही डेफिनेशन देना है. तुम तुम्हारे वर्ड्स में भी, ऑफ कोर्स इंग्लिश, ऑफ कोर्स इन इंग्लिश, so in question paper, in your exam, you can write legitimacy in your own words. You can write surrogate motherhood in your own words, even that artificial insemination. Just clearing the concept is important. Concept अगर तुम्हें clear है, you can write it in your words, not necessarily the exact words as I have told in the those definitions from the books. Concept clear is important. So I hope you have understood all those small four topics. Next time on Monday, let us see. I don't know whether I will continue with forensic or will shift to toxicology. I will see whether to continue with forensic or to switch to toxicology. That I will decide on Monday. Probably I will take some another poison from toxicology. Let us see. Okay, then bye everyone. I will end the meeting for all. Enjoy your Sunday.